All of you in some way or another have had a role in getting us to this day. We really appreciate it. I'm Doug Etkin, and I really wanted to thank you all for being here. We're joining with the city officials, architects, contractors, tenants, which we are one of as well, our bankers and our investors, to mark the start of construction of this building, which, as someone who's done a few buildings in its time, is a particularly significant building. And I can tell you that a vast array of my peers from around the country, who I saw 2 weeks ago and showed them the imagery of this and what this building was about, said, wow, that's really a special one. We hope that you also learn to love it, the building, because it's a labor of love, I can tell you that. It's the first new building in Royal Oak in, I don't know, roughly 20 or 30 years, and not the last, I'm quite sure. Because through the leadership and the vision of the city of Royal Oak, we found ourselves in a position to be able to, with a lot of hard work and some luck and a lot of cooperation from so many different people, get to the point where we're actually putting a shovel in the ground today. So I want to recognize Mayor Fournier and DDA Chair Jay Dunstan and Superstar, Director of Community Development Tim Twing. And we deal with people like Tim in various communities. And the most important thing that you can get from someone like that is yes, no, I'm not sure, but I'll get back to you. He's the best. And no means no, which is important too. So, Royal Oak, you're very, very lucky to have Tim. He's very knowledgeable, and he has the interest of the city, number 1, 2, and 3. I'd also like to recognize the city manager, Donald Johnson, who's with us today. Suffice it to say that there were a tremendous number of people who worked on this, from our team, the city's team, all of the various architects and attorneys and contractors and brokers and tenants and banks that we worked with. But some of you know this, most of you don't. I grew up a mile and a half from here in Huntington Woods. Royal Oak was my big city, with Kresge and Neisner's and Sanders and Hagglestein's and 3 movie theaters. And Monday night dinner, we were a fancy family at the Totem Pole on Woodward. Pocahontas still can't beat it. And I love Royal Oak. And what happened, with Royal Oak was a direct result of what happened with downtown Detroit. Yet, Royal Oak, got a little bit of sick, a little bit of a virus, but obviously Detroit took major extreme measures for it to go through what it had to do with the loss of population and everything. But it prevailed, and all that while, Royal Oak showed its fundamentals. 696 was an amazing boon to Royal Oak. Royal Oak is now going to go from good and very good to great. But as of yesterday, when I signed a lease to a law firm headed by a friend of mine, Harold Freed, who also lives in Royal Oak, on top of that white building right over there, the tall one, where the Washington Theater used to be, we're now 100% leased, which is amazing, although that's a word that's maybe used too much lately. So we are just so happy that you can join us as we start this adventure. And as a kid who grew up in Huntington Woods and Royal Oak, I can't tell you how happy and proud I am to be here with you today to join in this with you. Josh?
Thanks, Doug, and thank you all for being here with us today for what we coin as the official groundbreaking of 150 West 2nd Street. That's the name of the building that we've chosen and will be for a long time. Like Doug mentioned, it's hard to believe that a little over 2 years ago we had our first meeting with Tim in his office, looking at multiple different locations in the city to locate an office building. But this project wouldn't be possible without the tremendous work ethic of the city, the trust and cooperation as well. We've worked hand in hand for the last couple of years on various components of this deal, and I want to thank you guys for being there every step of the way with us and putting this together. It's been truly a teamwork approach. I'd like to thank the mayor, the former mayor, Tim Twing, the city commissions, the DDA, the planning department, the building and engineering departments, all departments that we've worked with in the city, as well as outside counsel to put this together. These things don't just happen overnight. Sometimes I think, from afar, that's something you take it for granted, but it's been truly a process, but a process well worth it, and we appreciate your effort for everything that you've done. Thank you very much. We're located and sitting today in what was and is still currently a parking lot, a piece of asphalt, but within 1 year from today, we will have constructed a new, brand new, state-of-the-art, very, very fine office complex. One of the newest in Southeast Michigan, one that we'll be all very, very proud of, I can tell you that for sure. A little bit about the building. The overall building square footage is roughly 100,000 square feet. It's 4 stories in stature. The first at grade level is grade level parking, which will be covered. We will also have our main entry lobbies both off of 2nd Street and 11 Mile for people to access the building. The grade level will also include amenities such as bike locker storage, bikes that you can use during the daytime if there are any people that like to exercise, which a lot of us do. There's also a locker room that will be built on the first floor as well. There are also many internal amenities that we'll provide in the building, but one of the great things that we did with the design of this building was we created a structure that allowed for a very wide and open floor plan perspective. So on our upper floors, 2, 3, and 4, as we call them, each floor plates are roughly 25,000 square feet, and we only have 1 center column line per floor, so it allows for a very flexible design for the tenants to design any type of space they deem necessary for their workforce. We believe that these amenities that we've created, along with the city's partnership in building the parking structure, as Doug mentioned, allowed us to attract what we believe to be top-tier tenants to our building. I'd like to acknowledge these tenants at this time because they're truly our partners in this quest to build this new development. Stout, formerly Stout Reese's Ross, will be occupying the entire 4th floor of the building. Gongus, company out of Auburn Hills, who will be moving here to Royal Oak, will be occupying the vast majority of the 3rd floor. And as Doug mentioned, just recently signed, the Fried Saperstein Law Firm will be occupying half of the 2nd floor, along with Etkin Management. We'll be moving our offices from Southfield to Royal Oak as well. All parties that have been part of this, I believe, have been part of a vision, and a vision that that will carry this project for the long haul. The project will be one that will be stabilized out of the gate, which is very hard to do. Doug mentioned 100% leased, and stabilized for a long time to come. We would like to say thanks again to all partners in this, the city, our tenants, our consultant groups, lawyers, lenders, everyone involved. Thank you for your trust. We will get this done and have it up for you very shortly. With that, I'd like to turn it over to the mayor for a couple of comments that he'd like to make on behalf of the city. Thank you very much.
Wow, welcome to Royal Oak. All right. The sun's starting to come out. It's shining on us, both figuratively and literally, which is a good thing for groundbreaking. Welcome. I want to especially welcome some guests here today. Obviously the Etkin Group and the tenants that are here present, the Chamber. I want to recognize Mayor Pro Tem Charlene Douglas, Commissioner Marie Donegan. They're here today. They've been a big part of this resurgence we've seen in Royal Oak. I also want to recognize our amazing city staff. They're the ones that put countless hours in, work extremely hard, so people like me can shamelessly take the credit. especially in an election year. So I appreciate that, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Gillum, Todd Fenton, and of course Tim. Royal Oak has had a lot of potential over the years, and it takes vision and a whole lot of hard work to go from potential to groundbreaking. And our city staff, in partnership with other community members, have made that happen. They've taken the slogan, good enough for government work, and have made it actually a compliment. So I'd just like to give them a round of applause for all of that. I want to especially recognize Jay Dunstan, the de facto leader of our DDA, longtime resident, has always been committed to the progress of Royal Oak, and I know he has played a special role in bringing this development here, not just with his white jacket, but with the white gloves that he put on to make sure that where we're at today happened. So, I think this is an interesting development, and I think it reflects what's happening in Royal Oak in many different ways. Royal Oak is certainly a centrally located city, 696 I-75. We're not particularly far from anything, we're not particularly close to anything, which makes it a very attractive spot to locate your business. I think what we're seeing at a national and global level is this move to urbanization. You're finding not just the developments from the Beaumont development up in 13 Mile area all the way down to the 696 and Main property and everything in between. We often focus a lot on these commercial developments, but our neighborhoods are undergoing an amazing resurgence. I think we're at a clip of 140 renovation or new homes every year in Royal Oak. These are people, a majority of them are already Royal Oak residents that have fallen in love with the community. They're continuing to stay here, they're investing in their neighborhoods, and they're staying. And this is a tribute to the fact that Royal Oak offers something that I believe is quite unique. The day for businesses to locate out in an outer ring suburb and capture their employees so they can't go anywhere, have a mediocre cafeteria and offer up Hawaiian Shirt Day on Fridays isn't going to work for all businesses in the future. And I think based on the tenants you see here, Ganga's Stout Advisory Services, these people have vision. They understand what's going on. They're attracting a new generation, or at least a new type of employee that looks more than just their career to have a balanced life. They want to have strong neighborhoods. They want to have a place to go to for happy hour, for dinner, for breakfast. And Royal Oak is very blessed to be in a position to offer that to the next wave of businesses. We're seeing a convergence of Silicon Valley and the automotive industry here in this area, and again, Royal Oak is very well poised to take advantage of this. And with the vision of Mr. Etkin and his company, I think you're going to find that many others are going to see this same potential, and it's very exciting to be part of it. And I'm just so happy that all of you are here today celebrating such a monumental event in Royal Oak, and I look forward a year from now to having an amazing building here that we can all be very proud of. So thanks for coming out today. Really appreciate it. Kudos to our staff, kudos to the Etkin Group, and for the tenants who had the vision to make this happen. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, now I'm going to ask these four gentlemen if they could make their way over to the table, put on a hard hat, grab a shovel, and partake in the ceremonial first shovel groundbreaking of our new project.
Poison. Stop. Okay, on three we'll dig. 1, 2, 3. Stop.
You've done this before, haven't you?
Yep, toss. Thank you. Thank you all.
So I'm very, very happy. I think the Etkin Group, Mr. Etkin and Josh have handled themselves tremendously throughout this entire process. And I will tell you that in the 6.5 years I've spent on the DDA, we've come across a lot of developers, but when those two walked into the room for the first time, you could just tell as the conversation progressed that these guys were professionals and really knew what they were doing and knew how to approach a project like this and knew how to work with us to make sure that it would be a success. So I couldn't be happier to see these guys down here, and they're going to be frequenting all these businesses. They'll be eating Mexican food, they'll be doing yoga, they'll be buying health food, ordering pizza, buying conies. So I'm so happy they're going to be here, and you couldn't ask for a better group.